That night in Medina, a verse was revealed that did not merely descend upon parchment and tongues, but upon existence itself. A verse whose weight is heavier than mountains and whose meaning stretches beyond the farthest edges of the universe. A verse that caused the unseen world to tremble, a verse before which devils retreat, jinn fall silent, and hearts either awaken or turn away. That verse is Ayat Al-Kursi, and within it lies a truth so vast, so overwhelming, that if the veil were lifted even slightly, the human heart would not be able to endure what it sees. Imagine this for a moment. Imagine that behind a single door lies an endless reality, reality not bound by time, not limited by space. A realm where power, knowledge, life, and authority originate. Ayat Al-Kursi is the key to that door. And inside this verse are signs connected to the greatest name of Allah, a name hidden by divine wisdom, concealed for centuries, known only to those whom Allah allows. This is not just a verse that we recite with our tongues. It is a verse that opens spiritual vision. It carries the servant from the narrowness of the material world into the vastness of meaning. Tonight, we'll understand why dark magicians fear this verse, why devils flee from it, why jinn themselves admit its power, and why the Messenger of Allah described it as the greatest verse in the Book of Allah. You are watching Religious Stories 12. We continue our journey into the metaphysical world, where the seen and unseen intersect, where faith meets certainty, and where the Quran reveals its deepest secrets. If you are ready, let us begin. Ayat Al-Kursi is verse 255 of Surah Al-Baqarah. It consists of 9 sentences. It's 9 statements that together describe Allah in a way unmatched anywhere else in the Quran. In an authentic hadith, the Prophet said that this verse contains the Ismi Aam, the greatest name of Allah. Because of this, scholars throughout Islamic history have said that whoever truly understands Ayat Al-Kursi has taken a step into a different level of awareness. Some scholars even stated that if this verse is recited with presence and understanding consistently, the doors of meaning begin to open, and realities hidden from most people begin to reveal themselves. The Prophet told us that Allah's Kursi is greater than the entire universe, something the human mind cannot comprehend. And yet, when compared to Allah's Arsh, the Kursi is like a small ring thrown into an endless desert. Ayat Al-Kursi describes Allah's Kursi, His knowledge, His power, His life, His authority, His control over all existence. It is the verse that comes closest to describing who Allah is. And if the unseen world reacted visibly when this verse is recited, hearts would shake in fear and awe, and many would fall unconscious from the intensity of what they witness. There are hadiths that show how Ayat Al-Kursi stands apart from every other verse. Abu Hurairah narrated that the Messenger of Allah placed him in charge of guarding the charity storehouse. One night he noticed that food was being stolen. He waited, and suddenly he saw a strange creature, roughly the size of a child. Abu Hurairah greeted it, and it returned the greeting. He asked, "Are you human or jinn?" It replied, "I am a jinn." When he took its hand, it felt like the paw of a dog, covered with hair. The jinn begged, claiming poverty and hardship, and Abu Hurairah let it go. In the morning, the Prophet asked him what happened, even though no one had informed him. He told Abu Hurairah that the jinn had lied and would return. This happened again the next night, and then again the third night. Finally, when Abu Hurairah refused to let it go, the jinn said, "Let me go, and I will tell you something that will benefit you greatly." It said, "When you go to bed, recite Ayat Al-Kursi. If you do, Allah will appoint a guardian over you, and no devil will come near you until morning." When this was mentioned to the Prophet, he said, "He told you the truth, even though he is a liar." This is not metaphor. This is reality. The one who recites Ayat Al-Kursi before sleep is surrounded by divine protection. Angels guard him. Devils cannot approach. A wall forms around the believer, not of stone or fire, but of divine command. In another hadith, the Prophet said that every verse of Surah Al-Baqarah descended accompanied by 80 angels, but Ayat Al-Kursi was brought down from beneath the throne itself. Why? because it speaks directly about Allah. Now we must understand what the Kursi and the Arsh truly are. The Kursi, often translated as throne or footstool, is not symbolic. It is a real creation of Allah. The Prophet explained its size with a comparison that shatters the mind. He said that the 7 heavens, compared to the Kursi, are like a tiny ring thrown into a vast desert. And the Kursi itself, compared to the Arsh, is like that same ring in the desert. All galaxies, all stars, all planets, all dimensions that exist are contained within the Kursi, and the Kursi itself is under the Arsh of Allah. Try to imagine this. The room you are sitting in, expand it to the building, then the city, then the country, then the planet, then the solar system, then the galaxy. Our galaxy alone contains hundreds of billions of stars, then expand further. Scientists estimate that there are trillions of galaxies. All of this, everything you can imagine, everything you cannot imagine, it's like a tiny ring compared to the Kursi, and the Kursi is like a tiny ring compared to the Arsh. Hasan al-Basri said that the Kursi represents Allah's knowledge. Everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen, exists within that knowledge. Ali narrated descriptions that make the heart tremble. The Kursi is carried by angels whose size and power defy imagination. Separated by veils of light and darkness so intense that without them, creation would be burned by divine light. The Prophet said that Allah decreed the measure of all things 50,000 years before creating the heavens and the earth, and his Arsh was above the water. The Arsh was created from a substance beyond human understanding. Its size is measured not in distance, but in journeys of millions of years. Look at the universe. Look at the precision. Atoms smaller than comprehension, moving in perfect balance. If 1 billion atoms fell from a needle every second, it would take thousands of years to empty. This balance exists because Allah is Al-Qayyum, the one who sustains everything. If he were to withdraw his sustaining power for even a moment, everything would collapse. And then Allah created the human being, the most complete mirror of his names and attributes. If the universe were folded, it would become the human. If the human were expanded, he would become the universe. This is why Ayat Al-Kursi reminds us of who we stand before. After understanding this, how can a person sin casually? How can prayer be neglected? How can the commands of Allah be ignored? Ubay ibn Ka'b was once asked by the Prophet which verse in the Quran is the greatest. When he answered with Ayat Al-Kursi, the Prophet struck his chest and said, "May knowledge be blessed for you." This knowledge was not memorization, it was recognition. Ayat Al-Kursi is unique because from beginning to end, it describes Allah himself, not laws, not stories, not commands, but Allah. The hidden Ism Al-Amam is connected to this verse. Just as Laylat al-Qadar is hidden among the nights of Ramadan, the greatest name of Allah is hidden by wisdom. It is not merely a word, it is a reality. Scholars like Ibn Arabi, Imam Ghazali, Imam Rabbani, and many others spoke about it. They said this name is not accessed by the tongue alone, but by purification of the heart. When the servant aligns his life with truth, sincerity, and surrender, this name manifests as light within the heart. The Quran tells us about a man who brought the throne of Bilqis in the blink of an eye, because he possessed knowledge from the book. Scholars said this knowledge was connected to the Ism Al-Amam, but scholars differed on which name it is. Some said it is Al-Hay, some said Al-Qayyum, some said Huwa. This disagreement itself is mercy, because it keeps hearts searching. Imam Ghazali said that this name echoes only in a purified heart. Worship without knowing Allah is empty. Deeds without love are hollow. When a person realizes how much Allah loves him, his heart trembles, tears flow, life changes. Worship becomes sweetness, not burden. Ayat Al-Kursi teaches us that Allah never sleeps, that everything belongs to him, that no intercession happens without his permission, that knowledge itself is a gift from him, that protecting the universe does not tire him, that he is the Most High, the Most Great. The structure of Ayat Al-Kursi itself is miraculous. The first and last sentences mirror each other. The second and eighth reflect each other. The third and seventh correspond. The fourth and sixth align. And in the center stands Allah's knowledge, encompassing past and future. This symmetry is not coincidence, it is design. Finally, the virtues of this verse are many. Scholars advise keeping it visible in the home, reciting it daily, reflecting upon it. It is recited for protection, for healing, for peace, for acceptance of supplications. But its greatest gift is not worldly benefit. Its greatest gift is recognition. It shows you who Allah is and who you are. Today, we explored the hidden truth of Allah's throne and the full story behind Ayat Al-Kursi. If this verse is recited, with understanding, the doors of meaning open slowly. Peace enters the heart. The eye of the heart awakens. If you are not yet subscribed to Religious Stories 12, do not forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Our mission is to revive faith, bring forgotten knowledge to life, and strengthen hearts through understanding. Life is short. Every second is valuable. Let us fill it with remembrance, learning, and closeness to Allah. May Allah protect you, guide you, and gather us together under His throne on the day when there is no shade except His shade.